Okay, hello. Is this thing on? I see a few people in the chat already. Mosh, Beetle, Nikolai, Flux, Mad Nugget. Am I on? Am I live? Nugget, am I? Oh, I am. Hello. How is it going, everybody? Very rare, but here I am with a stream. Just a casual Saturday discussing mice, answering questions, etc. Doesn't seem like there are any technical difficulties. Yolex Tarek, best mouse. I mean, it's one of the better lightweight mice on the market. But what I find weird is that the Cheetah, the small size, weighs more than it did on the just standard Yolex, and the medium size, it's the same weight. So can anybody riddle me that? It's like 36 grams versus 34. Is that huge? No, but it exists. So. Is there any wired mouse better in the OP1 8K? I would say the Death Adder V3 wired matches it performance-wise more or less, but it's just a different shape. But there aren't many great wired mice, honestly. Hello, OMG, you are the best. I appreciate that, RS. Is G-Wolf's clay edible? I don't know. I'm not going to be the one to test it, but somebody could. What are your top picks for borderline muddy pads? Current thoughts were Riz Doodle or the Type 99 Mid. Yeah, those are both solid options. I saw the whale was on Twitter calling out Artisan for stealing the Riz though, and I just figured that's more like he's addicted to calling companies out and he needed something to satisfy the itch after a few months of not calling anybody out. But yeah, that situation is weird if anybody's seen that. Drama alert. Yeah, I'm keeping you guys posted. When is the F1 ATK Pro Ultimate? That mouse is fucking... There's something weird about it. I'm just going to tell you that right now. They don't send it out. They're a Chinese company that really just doesn't seem to understand the American audience. It could be a fine mouse, but it's God, they just do not know how to handle these pre-orders. And they're not sending me a mouse. So, I mean, that could be the root of all of my hatred. Is that new Xtrfy mouse? They're still not selling it. Yes, it is. I'm happy you asked. This is, what is it called? The M68 Pro. This is an updated version of the M8, but it's a lot bigger, guys. I don't think I have an M8 on hand. I can look for it. But I'm going to make a video on these new Xtrfy mice soon. They're fucking weird, but the CEO randomly followed me on Twitter and DM'd me. He's like, hey, do you want to try the new mice? Because I tweeted, what happened to these mice? And here they are in hand. I don't even know if I'm allowed to talk about them, but now I'm in too deep, so I don't think there's any type of embargo. But yeah, this really, it's an interesting flat, blocky shape. It has the same coating as the Wise Owl OGM Pro, so it's not not a tier 1 coating, but it's close, and then the black version is a very good standard rubberized matte feeling coating. So it's interesting. I don't really like the Ergo shape, it didn't click for me, but that's 90% of Ergo shapes, but... yeah, this one's interesting, but it's is it better in the Viper V3 Pro? No, so I just don't really care about it, which is the majority of the market nowadays. I'm not grinding like I should be. Viper V3 Pro killed my will to review. VXE R1 Pro still good, planning to get one? Yeah, because that's actually a cheap mouse. The other thing about the F1 Pro is it's $90 after shipping, and it's at that point it's not a fucking budget mouse. That's just the $90 to $100 price range. Best mouse under $70. I just generally recommend the R1 Pro. Unless you're fine with wired, then that opens your options up a bit. When will we be getting an Asu ULX review? Yeah, if I get my hands on one. Lucky, though. I heard there was a new Lucky album. I did not listen to it. Did anybody in the chat? But honestly, I would say, of all the non-Viper V3 Pro mice that released recently, the G-Wolf's HTR with this fucking abomination of clay and grip tape, it's just one of my favorite mice for Fingertip. Listen to it, it's great. I will after the stream. What do you think of the ATK X1? Any ATK mouse I don't have, I don't know what to think about it. I think that they should ship it to me. Oh, live stream stays on YouTube. Yes, YouTube automatically uploads. So you just gotta go to the live section on my channel, and it will be there. Did Best Buy start selling the new Death Adder? The new Hyperspeed one? No, I don't think so yet. Yo, just want to say thanks for your dedication to the game. You got me into this awesome new level of autism. I appreciate that, man. Yeah, I've been grinding out mouse reviews for fucking 4 years now. It's coming up on 5 years since my first video in a month or two. That's hard to believe. That's over a quarter of my life, etc. I've stopped buying mice and mouse pads to get some shoes. Thoughts? I never understood sneaker collection, but I mean, all the more power to you. Just don't get caught up spending too much money on things that don't have true value. Yeah, the Hyperspeed, if they fix the build quality, I'm all over it. Yeah, it seems like they're taking the Hyperspeed name, but they're not using the batteries like before. I honestly don't even know. Maybe they are, though. But yeah, Razer was like, we want to send this to you, but you got to like call us. And I'm like, guys, I know how to review a mouse, so I don't know. I'll be getting it at some point. Is there a value mouse that is smaller than Pulsar X2 Mini? Like a cheap mouse that's smaller than the X2 Mini? There probably is, just not coming to the top of my head right now. I had a crazy sneaker collection back in 2017 to 2020. Another issue for me personally that like leaves me kind of just odd with shoes is I'm like size 15, so even just getting shoes is a challenge, and like collecting them, that just wouldn't. It's just not my thing. What do you think of Ergo mice? I just generally don't like them. Like, as I've tried many Ergo releases, many Ambi releases, I'm just biased towards Ambi. Thoughts on productivity mice like the MX Master 3? I've never had a use case where something like that would make sense, so I just haven't ever bothered with them. Are you going to try the Mcho's G3? I'm not sure, but if it's Chinese, I'm sure MechKeys will send me it. Some Chinese mice, though, Incot G Hero. I don't know why I haven't reviewed this mouse. Probably because these TJ exclusive skates, I just don't like them. I should just put something else on. And the Ajaz, what's this? The AJ159. This is alright, it's just way too heavy. The click quality's bad, and it's just like, oh yeah, it's an Ajaz mouse. It's just a clone of like the Ninjutso Sora V2, more or less. I just don't really like it. Talk about the Xtrfy mice. I did a little bit earlier. They basically, their CEO just DM'd me on Twitter, asked me if I wanted to try the new mice, so I got them. I don't know if anybody else has them. I don't know if I'm allowed to talk about them. But the M68 I do like a good amount. It's like an updated take on the whatever this was called before with the super low button height, but it's much bigger. The sides are flat. Sometimes it just seems like these companies listen to my advice and then make mice. But the clicks have this weird, like, oddly hollow feel to them, but I don't know. But I do like the shape. The Ergo shape, I don't know what to say about it. Reckon Asus will send you the Harp Ace 47-gram carbon version. Yeah, that's definitely a possibility. Asus, I doubt they like me, honestly. Like, I just never, in their eyes, I never give their mice a fair shot. So, I might not be the first reviewer to get it, but I did see, yeah, hold on. Can you guys see my Twitter now? Yeah, this is crazy. Some guy was, like, at Computex where they were displaying it, and he just goes and fucking grabs the mouse and starts doing, like, a bottom flex test. Like, that's something I would do. I just saw that, and I was like, wow, pretty beast. Just got the VXE R1 Pro Max. What do you think about it? What are your thoughts on the VXE R1 Pro? Those back-to-back comments, I still think it's a fine mouse. Yeah. G703 is worth it. Not at this point, honestly. If you're, like, totally in love with the shape, then, I mean, I guess it's the only option. But, yeah, I would say get something else. And Logitech may or may not, but I strongly believe they will. Can you guys see behind me? Release a new mouse next month. Or not next month. They might release a new mouse at some point. God knows when. Viper V2 Pro or Beast X Mini. They're just such different sizes of mice. Like, if you want something large, or like larger and flat, get a V2 Pro. But if you want something super small and thin, get the Beast X Mini. Wait, leak? Yeah, but it's like, if it was really good, I wouldn't leak it. So, I mean, that's enough. And it wasn't sent to me by Logitech. Some mice just have a way of, like, getting to me. It's weird. Talk about the Beast X Max a bit more. Didn't I in my review? It's like, if you want a large Finalmouse style of shape, it's good. But I don't know. To me, it just loses out to the Viper V3 Pro, and it's because I don't only value weight. That's kind of the easiest way to put it. But if you have a specific question about it, feel free to ask. Does the OP1 8K have flat sides like the X2 V2? It had, like, not exactly the same, where it's just, like, a fucking straight line on the X2 V2, but it's not, like, a heavily curved side, so you should be fine with the OP1. Do you know when 8K polling is coming to Ninjutso V2? I don't, and that's one of the reasons I'm just like, I don't know, I feel like people are giving Ninjutso, like, so many chances. Like, they were like, oh, the polling will be a thing a few months ago. Then they were like, oh, it'll be early June. Now it's mid-June. It's like, I don't know, something doesn't pass the smell test about Ninjutso at the moment. And I don't even have a fucking Sora V2 on hand, so that makes it even more bizarre. Like, when they do release, I'm still not going to have a Sora V2. And if a mouse can't make its way to me, it's like, does it even exist? I'm gay, bitches. Happy Pride Month, Kaz. What's the best weight sweet spot to still have very good control? It's gonna vary person to person. In some scenarios, I feel like I have good control with this 30-gram fucking G-Wolves mouse, but honestly, like in the grand scheme of things, I would say like maybe 50, 55, 60 seems like a pretty safe range where you get the benefits of lightweight, but you're just not going to be shaky. Type 99 or Saturn Pro for FPS games. Both are good. It really just depends. Like, if you want something extremely controlled, go with the Type 99. If you're fine with something a bit more balanced but not fast, I'd say the Saturn Pro. But it just comes down to a speed preference. Have you tried the Struth Gaming Gear mouse shape changer? I did, and I found those to be less, like, game-changing than other grip mods. But maybe I just, like, didn't do it right, but I don't know. I just bought them from him. I was disappointed. I never made a video on it, but I could probably have them somewhere. Are you going to review the revised Ponent Stormbreaker? Yeah, it's actually getting sent out to me, the Billy one, which is pretty cool. The QC was terrible. Yeah, I plug mine in every now and then. I'm like, yeah, I understand why I didn't give this mouse a glowing review. But hopefully no one's good. Is the new mouse going to be small from Logitech? Not quite. Literally watched all English Beast X reviews, Mini, the collab version, and the Max one. So I want to hear more thoughts on it since I ordered the Beast X Max. I mean, I don't know. I feel like you have a lot of information. Like, I don't know what more information you could possibly need about it. You'll just have to wait until it's in hand, I would say. The Gripmate, yeah, I've tried those. I put those on a few mice, and it's like, I don't know, it just didn't like make it feel better. Like, I understand how they should in theory, but it just didn't work for me. You can only use 2 mice for the rest of the year. What do you pick? I mean, easily Viper V3 Pro, and then what's the other one? That's a good question. I should really think about that. What would the other mouse be? Maybe, this is like recency bias, but I might say like the HTR just to see like if it really, like if there's really any merit to fingertip mice over the long term. But damn, what is my second to the Viper V3 Pro? I don't know. Great question. Thoughts on the ATK F1 series? I don't know what to say about it. They're not shipping the mice out. That is my main thought at the moment. They're a Chinese company with bad communication that is not shipping their mice out. Truth hurts. No Finalmouse, shocking. I was going to say like the ULX Cheetah, but it's like, I don't know. That could very well be it. But it's weird because in my mind, everything is just so far below the Viper V3 Pro. And the last time the mouse market was like that, to me, was with the OG GPX. I just thought, like, okay, mice are so good that's never going to happen again. But here we are. What DPI do you play on? I'm back down to 1600. I was on 3200 for the longest time. And then, like, everybody was like, oh, you're insane for that. And then I went to 1600. It's no big difference. But then I go back to 3200. I'm like, fuck. Is the MV01 still in rotation? Occasionally. But it's only just to figure out, like, why do I like this mouse that weighs fucking 70 grams? But honestly, since I've been testing the G Hero, I have been using the MPO1 because they are like this is more or less an MPO1 clone. And I like the MPO1 more, but I just can't like put my finger on why I don't like this mouse. It's the craziest thing. What are your thoughts on the current Fortnite season? It's probably the fastest I hit Unreal because I was just like obsessed with how bad it was. But I don't know. Now I'm just like, it's very boring to me, but I have nothing else to play. So it is what it is. Hipyo Tech collab incoming. Probably not. Happy he is doing his thing, though. Top few mice for competitive tac shooters. Under 100. I mean, the thing is, like, there's not really a mouse that's going to be better for a tac shooter than another. Like, you could like something like the Pulsar X Lite, or you could like something like the F1 Pro. Or not the F1 Pro. Thoughts on Xtrfy? I did not play it. How has the G-Wolves HTR been? Been thinking of picking one up? It's good. I mean, you got to really modify the shape to your liking, I'd say. Unless you just like the stock shape. But there's been nothing so far where I really hate it, aside from the fact that I can only use it in Kovaaks pretty much, since the side buttons are no good for Fortnite. Play the e-dating TAC FPS? Now, I haven't launched Valorant in, like, probably close to a year at this point. VXE R1 Pro is better than GPX. It could be a better buy. I would not call it. I wouldn't call it better, though. M42 wireless with the new sensor. What tier does it go in? This isn't an M42 wireless. Wait, is the Ergo that fucking M42 wireless? No. I don't know what mouse you're talking about. Is Using a Dremel to mod mice a good idea or a bad idea? Bearded Bob figured that out a few years ago. That's more or less unnecessary. New Xtrfy mice? Yes. These are the new Ergo and Ambi releases from Xtrfy. Why do company add 30K DPI sensors? It's not like anyone uses it. Because better sensors are capable of rendering higher DPIs. So it just shows that you have a better sensor. How many times did you spam that? If it's only 2, I won't time you out. Yeah. What keyboard are you using now? I'm using a Wooting, but just with like standard black on white keycaps. I don't really know what happened, but something about the Lamlzu ones, like the texture was bothering me, so I just threw on these and it's good. But I'm insane. I thought I reviewed the Drunk Deer A75 and the Raiden Soft, but I just realized I haven't fucking reviewed those products. So I just need to do that. Like, I've just had like a memory hole where I was like, yeah, I definitely reviewed those. Yo, fucking Hi-Fi ASMR, see description in the chat saying plastic AIDS. How are you doing, man? It has been many moons. So you've got yourself a life now? Like, what is going on, see description? Holy shit. Actually, we know someone who uses 30K DPI. True memory. Best Pulsar mice. For me, the X2 V2 Mini is just like, it's one of the best shapes. At the current point, it's like a revised version would probably be one of like the top mice on the market, in my opinion. But all of Pulsar's non-ES mice are down to $70, so they're not bad buys at the moment. That new Xtrfy Ambi is wider than the GPX. Yeah, I can pull out my GPX. I would not say significantly wider, but it does have like oddly flat feeling sides. It just, the mouse in general reminds me of like the Wise Owl OGM Pro. I don't know why. Is the PAW 3395 good? Yeah, there's really no problem with a well implemented 3395. The jump from 3395 to 3950, I don't think it's, maybe we just haven't had like really well implemented ones, but I don't think it's that huge. But it's definitely like still better. What do you think about the X-ray pad chameleon grips? I don't know. They feel fine. They feel very grippy, like more so than BTL grips. The gimmick of them like changing color when you, like with the heat of your skin, I mean, that's cool to some people, I guess. But I thought when they said in my DMs, like, we have chameleon grips, I was like, damn, that could be sick. But it was a little bit underwhelming, but they're just solid grip tape. Memory might be up to 42K DPI, possible. Top picks for a very tilted claw grip. I have a bad habit of hugging the bottom left. I don't know, man. There's just too many words. The chat fucking left my screen. I'm sure there is a mouse for you. Probably a GPX, just like a blank canvas mouse. What's a cheap alternative to Raiden Soft? I don't know how cheap it is, but Infinity Mice Speed V2, Lamlzu Energon maybe, but I would just recommend getting a Raiden. Can you recommend me what mouse I can get for my birthday? Budget's 150 to 170. Viper V3 Pro would be my top recommendation, unless you have like really small hands. First thoughts on the new Xtrfy mice so far. They're like, the Ergo's just not for me, like shape-wise. I mean, you can just look at the shape and be like, yeah, it's probably not something I would enjoy. But both of the mice do have very low button height because they are committed to the mouse charging from the side gimmick. All the more power to them. But yeah, I'm not like, I don't know what price these are going to be. They don't stand out to me like above the rest of the market, but they seem solid. When will the new Logitech be released? What's the way? I can't just full leak everything, but sooner than later in the grand scheme of things, I would say. What are the best skates for GPX 2024? Are core pads still good? I don't know. This is a question for anybody using a GPX. Does anybody feel like no matter what skates you put on the GPX, they're just fucking too controlled? Am I just like going through some dilemma? Is there something wrong with me, my GPX? But it's like, I don't know. I would recommend like Jade's, core pads, Tiger Ice. One person said, yeah, that's all I needed to hear. It's just a very weird like phenomenon. What 3 mice are in the thumbnail? I think the Viper V3 Pro, the new Xtrfy M68, and the G-Wolves HTR. I was thinking about including a few other mice in the thumbnail for the sake of color, but I did not. How long do I need to use a mouse to know if the shape is for me or not? I would say, assuming you don't try a ton of mice, like 2 weeks of good use should really give you an idea. Oh shit, I just forgot about my McDonald's iced coffee. Got the R1 Pro just now. Suggest a good budget mousepad for low cents. Define budget for mousepad. And I would say Lethal Gaming Gear has some crazy deals right now. Like there's the Saturn's $20, I think the Neptune's $25. So if you're in the US, those are really good deals. International like budget mousepads, I don't fucking know. Yo, bro, is the Pulsar X2 Mini worth it? The X2 V2 Mini at the current $70 price, it's really not bad, in my opinion. Have you tried any Ajaz mice? Yes, I've tried like fucking every Ajaz mouse, and they're always disappointing. The AJ159 Pro, slightly less disappointing than the rest, but it's like, I don't know, Ajaz is just not an innovative, like, company that is good at making mice. And people just don't realize that. And I do realize that, so that's the difference. Mason with $5. Appreciate that, man. Are you going to get the Lamlzu Pero soon? I don't think anytime soon. I'm not on Lamlzu's like good list for like where they send early mice. So yeah, I don't know. I know a guy in Hong Kong who like basically runs a store, and he's been like giving me info about the Pero, but yeah, I don't know. And it doesn't seem that exciting. It just seems like their take on a like EC shape, more or less, unless I'm like hallucinating. It's something else. But I just looked at it, I'm like, okay, this is just a Lamlzu clone. Is it like a mini Death Adder? Am I thinking of the right thing? Yo, Sombro, the $3 Australian. That is like 1 US penny. Just kidding. Best mousepad for Viper V3 Pro and skates. I don't know. My mousepad, it's like been all over the place. I've been using the Type 99 a lot. I've been using the He, and I've been putting a ton of time on the Skypad. But best pad, I don't know. I would always recommend just whatever pad from the Artisan lineup that just seems best for you. Do you still have the Riz Doodles? Yeah, I do. I have one copy. I think I gave away the other one, so I'm not sure which hardness I have. God damn, I am behind on chat. Do you review the ATK F1 Pro? Do they fucking send me it? That's the real question. And currently the answer is they do not send me it. EC2 clone? I mean, I don't know. I can fucking go try to find the shape. Is it going to take too much looking? No, here it is. Is this one? No, fuck. Well, this would leak another Lamlzu mouse, so I don't know if I can do that. Can you guys see it on my screen? You guys can see it a little bit. That's what the Lamlzu Pero is. Thoughts on the Razer Gigantus? Just outdated. But if you're in a country where it's like there are no mousepads available, it might be alright. But if there's genuinely anything, it would not be my recommendation. Opinion on ATK F1. No opinions until it is in my hand. But I do think, like, maybe, is it the X one? Which one's the Blazing Sky? It's not that fucking cheap, is what I've realized. It's like a $90, $100 mouse, pretty much. Recommended fingertip mice. Really depends on your budget. If you're on a budget at this point, actually V2 Mini is not bad. F1 Pro, or R1 Pro is not bad. If you have more money to spend, then fingertip options kind of open up. HSK Pro, I'm not an HSK fucking recommender. And the HTR, it's too expensive, unfortunately. Like, I've realized, I understand the mouse. I get it. But for the average, like, fingertip mouse person, after the Keychron M4, they're just not going to spend, like, 160 on this. You gotta be really degen. Top five mice as of today? I just gotta make a video on that. Because I really don't know. Like, I sit down and I think about it, I'm like, besides the Viper V3 Pro, like, what is actually good? And I come to a blank. I also gotta do a mousepad tier list. I've fucking disappointed you guys on that so long. Nobody's even asked about it this stream. Can you show the Sora V2? I genuinely don't own a Sora V2, which is insane, because I own every mouse, but I just, like, there's no way for me to get my hands on one. I'm just not gonna buy one secondhand, because now it's like just kind of a game. Like, how long can I go without one? But this Ajaz AJ159 is pretty close in terms of shape, but the weight is fucking like 20 grams heavier. REA, is that even what they're called? FCC1, are you reviewing it? Yeah, maybe at some point, whenever it's ready. That mouse has been out for like years. Do Razer has the best latency? Wireless, I mean, technically, yes, but, like, click latency, it's just not impressive. Like, everybody has the fucking ability to get to, like, sub 0.4 ms click latency on the newest chips. It's just, like, the fact people still obsess over that, it is weird to me. But yeah, Razer's, like, latency's not going to let you down. Thoughts on the Haste 2 Mini? It's just not worth it, probably. It's, like, a good, I don't know, it's a good mouse if it's on, like, a 50% sale. Thoughts on the Beast X Mini? It's too small for me, but I'd recommend checking out my review of it. But honestly, maybe with the advent of clay, I could just make that mouse better for me. But even then, why wouldn't I just do it with a ULX Cheetah? What is the meaning of PMW? PMW and PAW, it used to be a distinction between like high power and low power, like wired and wireless, but I think at this point it's just hodgepodge. Like, that's what I would say. G-Wolves probably spends bank on shape models and stuff. I would assume that's why they're expensive. Yeah, and G-Wolves is also a very small company, like compared to a lot of these other mouse companies. So I get it. And this is like a very niche product that only appeals to a small subsection of the market. But let's be real. This could also be a $130 mouse, and their profit margins would not be it would not be that low. Do you think OP1 8K switches are a step forward or nothing crazy? Definitely. I mean, I think it's objectively good, so I'm not going to critique it. What mice have similar shapes to the X2 V2? Nothing is quite identical, because it kind of took a lot of elements from other mice, like other small shapes, and then just made the sides really flat. But I mean, technically the X2H is just like an elevated, more curved version. Best mouse for claw grip. Skates for Viper V3 Pro. I mean, Viper V3 Pro is a top mouse for claw. Really, so many mice work with different forms of claw. It's always been hard for me to be like, yeah, this is the best one. Also, this Xtrfy mouse looks better from this angle. I just realized. Have you tried the Yeah, the wall hack keyend clone. It's fucking boring. My last mousepad roundup, I talked about it, and I spoke about it for like 5 seconds. I'm like, if you've tried any of the other 20 keyend clones with a shitty Chinaron base, you're good. Attack Shark X3 for $30, a good option? No. I would say I'm rescinding my budget recommendation of the Attack Shark R3 because all of the fucking kids who seem to get them seem to have some problem with it. So that does prove my theory true of $30 is just not enough for a good gaming mouse. So there is that. The Aqua Control 2 still one of the best budget mousepads, if you can get it for really cheap, yeah. But the problem with like every mousepad is after shipping and stuff, it's like close to $40. And at that point, I'm like, is there really a financial situation where you can spend like $40 on a mousepad easy peasy, but spending like $60 for an Artisan is like beyond like reach? Maybe there is, but I don't know. I would pretty much always recommend Artisan. Can you be my duo for FNCS? Now, I fear I'm not gonna. I don't know. I really have no desire to play it. Like, I'd just rather watch it and then like do my own thing at the same time than play it. But I don't know. I could play it at some point because I do have a duo who's like competent at the game. IMO, you should revisit the ROG Harp Ace. Nah, I will check out the extreme version, but I don't like it. Yeah, the carbon fiber version. I'll definitely check that out. But just the current one, I like lost my dongle for it too. Why not grind Val? It just doesn't scratch the itch. I've said it many times before. You can't like 200 somebody in Val. It's just it's a different game. Does the Keychron M4 have any quality issues? I would check my review, but it was definitely nothing major. And I haven't used it a ton since then. Are you going to try a new ATK mice? If they fucking ship them to me. But if they only ship it to the Chinese mouse reviewing cabal, I am no part of that. Best way to break the seal on PTFE dot skates? Like you're concerned you're going to damage the skate by removing the film? I would just say practice makes perfect with my tongue in my cheek. Do you think optical switches aren't much better than normal mechanical? No, it's been overblown over the years because when mechanical switches were failing a ton and double clicking, like opticals did solve a lot of problems, but there's a lot of like propaganda more or less that opticals are lower latency and just inherently better. So it just comes down to implementation. But new Omron opticals can feel very good, so I'm not a hater of them. Is your Ninjutso Sora V2 holding up well? No. The funny thing is, I got sent that mouse on Lend, like, for a review, and I shipped it back, and then the person, like, who I borrowed it from, they, like, got the mouse refunded because of the quality, so I don't know. I just haven't gotten one since then. It's kind of unbelievable. Is there a noticeable difference between 4K and 8K? As schizophrenic as I sound, yes, there is, but it's, like, it's not game-breaking or anything. Like, not in the slightest, I'd say. New here was the best Ergo mouse if budget isn't an issue. For me, I would recommend the Death Adder V3 Pro, but there are some other options. Like some people like the Lamlzu Thorn. It really depends like how you grip. If you palm grip, the Thorn might be a good option. There are some others. I would recommend. I made a top Ergo video some months ago. How brown is the Raiden? It's close to black. It's like Imagine you just put like a dash of milk in a coffee, because they call it coffee brown. So yeah. Oh, what is the best mouse for $100? It's tough because that was like there was a whole onslaught of mice that released with 3395s at like the $80 to $100 price point. So there's just too many to like pinpoint one. Oh my, Raphael, what the fuck is wrong with you, man? Raphael, come on now. Timeout duration 30 minutes. God, truth hurts. Drink more water? I know. I have not drank enough water this stream. I have like 4 bottles. Is the R1 Pro still best gaming mouse? I don't think I ever called it the best gaming mouse, but I think it's the best budget mouse, for sure, probably. Because I try all of these like $50 mice that people say are the best thing since like puffed wheat, and none of them are. But the R1 Pro, it really was. What did Raphael do? I don't even know. He asked the same question 80 times, and I was so taken aback by it that I just didn't even read what it was. How is the DT900 Pro X? They're fine. I'm like, I see people care so much about audio, I'm like, this is meaningless. But I'm sure that's how some people feel about mice. So sometimes I think like, oh, should I upgrade these? And I'm just always like, no. If it ain't broke, don't fix it. Unless it's a mouse, then keep fixing it. Yo, Tiago, how's it going, man? Are you planning on getting an ADHD? I grabbed one of the Boog 75, but the software is so ass. Yeah, Wooting sent me an email a while back being like, would you like to review the ADHD? And I'm like, would I? And then, yeah, I should be getting one at some point. XES best mouse easily? It's just such a bizarre mouse. Because in my review, I recommended, I was like, only if you want an XES, then this is a great mouse. And people were, I don't know, people seem to hate it, but I don't know. Why do you think Logitech plays so safe with their products? Because we're like humans, and we have this like enthusiast understanding of mice. Logitech is just like, they're beyond our understanding. That's what I've come to accept. Because it's like, you can sit there and think you're smart, be like, oh, Logitech doesn't get it. But I mean, Logitech, like, we just don't get them. That's the way I see it. Like, everybody hating on the keyboard. That was planned from Logitech. Oh, like, you're interested in the actual letters creed? Yeah, I have no fucking idea. You can email Pixar and be like, hey, I'm going to spend $1 billion. Can you clarify this with me? And then they might respond to you. If you don't lead it with that, then no. Vaxi mice have no personality. True, I get that. They kind of as a company, they don't have much of a personality. They just have this very like corporate, like ice cold feel to them. And people are really complaining about the warranty and like international availability, etc. Show the mouse pads for Boardy Fest. I like the X-ray pad ones. X-ray pad's actually sending me 120 of those to give away at Boardy Fest. It's pretty amazing. I'll like take a picture when they get in. It should be in a few days. Thoughts on DPI deviation? More overblown. Not really overblown. People don't freak out about it too much nowadays. How does the VXE R1 Pro compare to the G Pro? I'd recommend watching my review of it. It's more like, it's kind of more like the Pulsar X2 V2 than the G Pro. What are some recommendations for a small hand king? I have the Viper signature and it still feels too big. I mean, that's kind of fucking bizarre. But maybe Finalmouse small, WL mouse, Beast Mini, Endgame Year OP1. Like, those are really narrow mice. But honestly, the Viper Mini signature should not feel large under any circumstances. Getting ATK F1 soon. I don't know, man. I wish I knew. I wish that company would ship it out and not be a piece of shit. But here we are. Have you heard of the ATK F1 Ultimate? Yes, guys. I am well aware. And clearly, all of you guys have as well. But my question is, do any of you guys have the mouse in hand, or is this just another mystery mouse? Top 5 2024 mice? I will upload that video next weekend, probably. Thoughts on Lamlzu Maya? I just don't love it. I don't know anybody who uses it at this point. It was just a shape that I just, like, never really understood. Lamlzu's wireless was subpar for a while, but it seems like maybe through firmware updates they've like caught up. But merch when? Somebody gave me a merch idea the other day, and I was like, this actually isn't bad. Oh no, that was something else. But yeah, what would I even sell? Like, as much as the seal of approval is iconic, I don't think anybody would wear a seal of approval shirt. And besides that, it's like fucking beats me. Beast X Mini alternatives, ULX Small. That's just like really the only one. Because the Beast X is just a ULX clone. And there's nothing quite like the ULX Small. What is this noise? Oh my god, my friend is fucking screen sharing CS in a Discord call. I'm like, did not know what I was hearing. Did somebody say something about Boardy Fest? Fuck. That was unfortunate. Oh, will you be recording the upcoming Boardy Fest? I don't know. I have, believe it or not, like an uncut kind of raw footage from last year's Boardy Fest. I don't know if I want to upload that in some way. I don't know why I didn't upload it at the time. But yeah, there's that. So somebody could, but it's not going to be live. And I don't know if anybody's going to make an appearance. Like Cease and Elevate with 4114, they expressed some interest, but I don't think it's going to happen. But Boardy Fest is going to be, it's going to be the most products ever, and there's going to be no shame on the wheel. So I don't know how it's going to time out. Chess video when? I do want to make a best mouse for chess video. Yo, Vitriol with the 249 euros. Haste 2 versus Burst 2 Air versus Viper. Like, just pick one. I'll rank them for you. Viper V3 Pro, GPX 2, Burst 2, Haste 2. There you go, man. Appreciate the 250. Thoughts on the Artisan and Soft? If that mousepad didn't exist, I would not be reviewing mousepads. So it's one of the greatest of all time. Like, I tried it after trying a few mousepads, nothing crazy. And I was like, wow, this is really the best thing ever. And I just never stopped talking about Artisan. And here I am today, still talking about Artisan. New Logitech mouse above 60 grams? Yes, I will fucking spill the beans on that one. Are you interested in upgrading to 540 Hz Asus? Optimum said it's the ultimate monitor for competitive. I'm waiting for, like, what is it, 1440p 480 Hz? Is that the thing coming from Asus? I don't know. I might just wait a bit on monitors, because I don't hate my current one in the slightest. But casual, fuck, I missed that comment. Yo, what the hell? IDR 20,000. Is that an Indian rupee? Can somebody translate that currency? What's the future for FK enjoyers after V2 Pro? That's a good question. Like, maybe praying for Zowie to finally release the rest of their lineup in wireless. The XES Small isn't quite an FK, but if you do want like a mini, like kind of revised version, that's an option. But it seems like actual FK clones have kind of slowed down. Do you not like the Finalmouse like shape profile? Is it good for Fortnite? I don't know what it is, but likely. The He and Soft, yes. Did the Viper V3 Pro replace the GPX for you with claw grip? Yes. Where do I buy sidebuns for GPX? You know, you just return your mouse. Yeah, it's $1. That is insane. I appreciate it nonetheless. Thoughts on Messi versus Ronaldo? I've never been a soccer fan, but when I was a kid, I played, what was it, FIFA 11 maybe? And I was a fan of Messi. So, there's that. God, every fucking question I see is about the R1 Pro, and I just realized it's the same guy spamming it. Guys, you just gotta stop spamming the questions. It's not gonna fare well for you, unfortunately. How are the new Xtrfy mice? They're good. They're not bad. They just play interestingly. I'll have like I don't know if I should put out like a first impressions video, just like some coverage, kind of like just giving an overview, or just use them for like another week and then do a full review. What about a poster for merch? Like, what kind of poster? I don't have any ideas with that. It wouldn't be terrible. Any mice you're hyped for this year? That's a good question. Not a ton, like, pop out, but if somebody were to list, like, a few mice coming out, I'd probably be like, oh, yeah, that's pretty exciting. But, yeah, there's nothing huge in my eyes. Yeah, 480 hertz, first good thing. The good thing about 540 is it's just TN, which is fastest, plus ULMB2. Yeah, so that would just be like a big upgrade. But is it 1080p 540? I doubt I'd really care going back. ULX Ace? Yeah, but that's not like, that's just a ULX reskin. Like, even if they do make a few like under the hood changes, it's just not going to be like drastically different. Like, I just don't feel like anything for the rest of 2024 is going to, like, shake up the market the way the Viper V3 Pro did. But I could be wrong. New G-Wolves mice don't seem bad. Has your GPX 1 or 2 had yellowing or discoloration? Not at all. And my OG white GPX was probably, like, of all the GPXs, the one I put the most time on, so. And that one's fine, so. If I have a Beast X Mini, should I get a ULX? if for whatever reason you're dissatisfied with the Beast X Mini, but I mean, that, like, how long have you had that mouse? Like, a few months? Like, should be fine. But yeah, ULX, it makes sense to get coming from a Beast X. Thoughts on the HTS2? It seems good. I'm just waiting till I get it in hand. But honestly, I've been impressed with the HTR, so I'm bullish on G-Wolves. Does V3 Pro have motion sync? Yes. Thoughts on Otsu Soft? I just don't prefer it over the Hien. And I know it's not like in-depth thoughts, but it's like they're both kind of balanced textured pads from Artisan. Like, the Hien plays fast, but it's not like unbelievable speed. And I just like the way the Hien feels, interacts with mouse skates, interacts with my arm more. So you can get the Otsu. It's very popular, but I don't know. It hasn't won for me personally. Mavs in 7? I don't know. It's probably going to be Boston in 5. Because they just can't let the NBA Finals only go 4 games, but they can let it go 5 games. But yeah, this NBA playoff, since the Knicks lost, I just have been completely checked out. And even when the Knicks were playing, I was like, yeah, go Knicks, but I just knew it wasn't going to go well. What are those white mice? This is the new Cherry Xtrfy M68 Pro. Yes, that is true. Gotta fucking check the model number. This is the Ajaz AJ159 Pro, and that's the Viper V3 Pro. If the Mavs come back, it'll be fire. I just don't see that happening, but maybe. Maybe Luka could save his, like, fucking reputation. Riz or Type 99? In my experience, the Type 99 by far, but I think, like, the Whale's new claims are that the uncoated, like, the non-doodle version of the Riz is close to the Type 99, but has that pad even been fucking sold? Like, I don't know. Some Japanese guy was like, this is just marketing for the Riz, which I was like, makes sense. Is white V3 Pro coating similar to OP1 8K coating or more grippy? I would say, yeah, similar, just a little bit more, like, grippy and wet, I would say. That makes sense. What are your top picks for mice with wide hips? I want mice that lock in support at the rear. I mean, this isn't out yet, but I mean, this looks fucking perfect for you, this new Xtrfy mouse. But that's, it's kind of weird, because that's not something that I look for in a mouse, so. Like, NPO1 kind of does it. Best mousepad firmness? Artisan Soft is my favorite, but it's just personal preference. But honestly, people who like really hard feeling like cloth pads, I think there's like a disability there, so that is what it is. Have you tried the pink Sora V2? No, that mouse just doesn't fucking ship out. And the fact that they're selling the pink one before releasing the 8K dongle that was promised like many months ago, it's just absurd. I can't support Ninjutso. It's bizarre. Why are your videos shocking? Are you listening? This is the most shocking thing that's happened in years. Oh my god, these fucking people who spam. Sickening, frankly. I do not like wide hips on a mouse either. Yeah, I mean, it just comes down to preference, but I mean, most designs have like a subtle flare out. Thoughts on the new HotES Plus 8K Type-C? Is that just like a revision of the HotES? Doesn't seem bad, but I don't have it. Put a 30-second timer? Well, it's more about decency. I shouldn't have to force that. It should be obvious. Don't spam the same question over and over. Sprime PM is goated, but when 4K? I mean, it's the same thing with Ninjutso, where I would actually say there's a much lower chance we see a dongle for Sprime, or it's just going to come out at the same time as Ninjutso because they're the same company. But something about Sprime, I said it before, but it just feels like it was a pet project of like somebody. Like, it's not a real company that's going to continue releasing mice. Tips on how to start a review channel. Been really inspired by your work. I mean, you can just watch my early videos. I was just reviewing what I had, but it is a very different like reviewer environment now, I guess. There are a lot more reviewers, but I would just say upload, have your own twist, and keep uploading. That's a problem with a lot of small reviewers. They like review like 4 products in 6 months. Like, I don't know. You need to have a kind of deep catalog to build credibility, in a sense. Do not watch Boardy's old Glorious videos. True. Yeah, oh yeah, that's another thing. Glorious said... Okay, basically this rep who used to work at SteelSeries went to Glorious, and he shot me an email and like saying, oh, you want to try a new Glorious, my son? I'm like, yeah. And then they just never sent me a mice. So I don't know why I included that first part. Maybe because it's just so unbelievable that Glorious would reach out to me. But it seems like they don't want me reviewing their new mice, if they even have new mice. It seems like they have new mice, etc. Have you seen the Apex Pro spamming key problem? No. Is that like a new Apex Pro QC issue? I remember in the mini dropped, I had some weird fucking issues, so I just didn't use it, but it seems better since then. Best mouse feet for Saturn Pro. There's a lot of options. I don't know. Jades are good. Tiger Ice. When is the next Boardy Fest? That's a good question. It's definitely coming. I just don't. Who should the guest be? I mean, honestly, I should figure out the guest, but I don't know. It's really just a matter of finding guests. Could be next weekend, as early as next weekend. Tens might be tough. Can't be anybody with a booking fee. I'm not going to pay anybody for their time, unfortunately. Viscose. That's not a bad one, but that just keeps, like, I don't want to do, like, just aimers. I'd rather do, like, a kind of reviewer, like, peripheral community adjacent person. But then again, people have only suggested Viscose, so it might be Viscose. Are you still using the plastic skates? Only on the Incot G Hero, and I just don't like them. Like, I feel like oftentimes I am just saying that a product from TJ Exclusives just doesn't, like, do it for me. And I don't know if I just, like, hate the company, but I just don't... I don't know. None of their products have been better than the competition to me. But yeah, you can... They're solid for glass pads, but I just wouldn't use them over PTFE. So it's like, what's the point? The Whale, he's definitely... That was one I'm thinking, like, the Whale needs an episode. But the second episode, that would be crazy. Marquez Brownlee, I don't know if he would be down. How come so many pros are using the Superlight V1? Because it's safe, and not a lot of them really felt the need to upgrade to the V2, or they didn't like the heavy clicks, so they just went back to what they were comfortable with. But I have heard that the new batches of the GPX have lighter clicks, but I just haven't brought myself to fucking buy a new one for that. Plus or minus Rokaku release date, I have no idea. I would recommend. It seems like it's around a month away, within a month maybe. But I have no idea, because I'm hoping that they can still send me the like Zero collab pads for Boardy Fest. What's the orange mouse? Incot G Hero Pro. I'm gonna have a review out on it soon. I've had it for a while, and I just keep testing it. It's like it just doesn't wow me. It doesn't do it for me. I just don't know why. It's like built like a tank. The weight balancing isn't great, but it like that alone can't be the reason that I just feel like this mouse is meh. So I don't know. I need to come up with an opinion on that. Lamlzu Pero release opinion. Probably not going to be a revolutionary mouse, if I had to guess. When do you think the next ULX batch will be out? I have no fucking idea. I almost leaked something, but good thing I didn't. Why are white coatings on mice almost always a problem? I disagree with that. What do you mean? Are they always a problem? What is the best mouse from each brand? Speedrun this? I mean, what brand? Like, how many brands am I supposed to fucking come up with? I could be sitting here for, like, minutes. Hours. Superlight V3 with 8K quality. Beast mode. Best Lamlzu mouse? Probably, I don't know, like the OG Atlantis, when it dropped, that was probably like Lamzu's peak, in my opinion. Too many mid mice as of today? Yeah, that's a problem that I feel like I'm very vocal on. Like, a lot of the mice are just okay. And probably not worth buying if you already have a good mouse. Just joined. Any idea on HTK F1 Ultimate? Considering buying it. I mean, if you want to, like, just buy one, get an order confirmation, and hope they ship it out eventually without knowing the quality of the mouse, that is what many people have done. But I would wait for reviews, people that actually have it in hand. But, I don't know. That situation, it's just annoying me because people ask me so much. I'm like, what do you guys want me to do? Fucking, how about you harass the company? Tell them to send it to me. Which mousepad for Fortnite? If I have the Finalmouse Ultralight X, like the Artisan Zero can't do you wrong. The Hien could be fine if you're fine with a faster feeling pad. I mean, there's just so many options. Does the low button height on the Xtrfy mice make a difference? If you really grip towards like the front of the mouse, yeah, but even to me it's like uncomfortably low, but they did kind of scale the slope in a way that's just less brain dead than it was on the M8, so yeah, I would say it potentially makes a difference. But if you're somebody who like grips up here, I mean, let's be honest, the fucking button height isn't that different than it would be on any other mouse. Are you Unreal in Fortnite? Lol. Yeah, I got it this season, probably a week ago, maybe a little bit more than that. And yeah, I mean, this season it's just, at the start it just had like some luster. Now they've done some patches and the meta is still poor, but at least it plays a bit more normally. But when it was just like Car Simulator, I was playing ranked, I'm not gonna lie. Any 3950 sensor mice? Yeah, a few. Vaxi XES, BeastX Max, probably some others, like some smaller Chinese ones, but the big wave of 3950s like Pulsar, Lamlzu, etc. hasn't hit yet. How's the coating on the new Xtrfy mice? It's weird. The black one, it's like very rubberized, grippy, but it is kind of like a print and oil magnet. And then the white one is this odd coating that I can only think of really one other mouse that has used, and it's the Wise Owl OGM Pro, where it just feels like this very, like, I don't know, it's just like this kind of glossy, but not glossy, just like wet feeling plastic. But different from the Viper V3 Pro, like not quite as grippy, but it's not bad coating. Do you play any non-PC games? I'm gonna play like NCAA 25. It's really just sports games on my console, or on my PS5 with like IRL friends, but I probably haven't turned on my PS5 in like fucking 4 months. Actually, that's not true. I played MLB The Show when it came out this year for like a week, and it was the worst MLB The Show ever. Truth hurts. AJ159 Apex has 3950. Is that what I have? Yeah, it is. Okay, so I guess this mouse has a 3950. As you can tell, it was very obvious from the improved sensor implementation. OP1 8K for fingertip big hands. If you have wide hands, it just feels fucking weirdly narrow. But I'm the only person with that complaint, but I also might be the only person with larger than average hands who has tried that mouse. Have you tried the new Fantech Helios 2 Pro? No, but it's being sent to me, I believe, so I should try it at some point. Have you ever tried any uncommon grip styles? Just like as a meme, like when Donk was popular, he had his 5 seconds of fame. I tried his grip, and I was like, this is no good. And now it seems like he's no good, even though it might be wrong. Most disappointing mouse of all time? I'm not sure if this is objectively true, but it just came to my mind. The original Fnatic Bolt. Like, that was hyped up to be, like, the best mouse ever, and that was just, like, fucking just a mid-3370 mouse. The hump on the OP1 8K is kind of restrictive for fingertip. Where do you grip? Like, super far towards the front? Do you recommend HDR over Keychron M4 for literal child-size hand? Maybe? I don't know. Keychron M4 would probably work, but this would too, so I don't know. If you have child-size hands, then it's like fingertip mice are great. What happened to the Maya Large? I don't know. Good answer. Did you try Kurosan Mousepads? Yeah, none of their pads have, like, really stood out to me. Well, of the two I've tried. What happened to Lamlzu Chachi? Apparently they just couldn't dial in the quality to a point they were comfortable with releasing it. But maybe it'll still come out at some point. But yeah, the Kurosan pads, the Ninja, it just felt oddly, like, waxy and kind of, like, sticky. And then the Samurai, I don't know, I just found it to be, like, muddy and kind of weird. And then people are like, you just gotta keep using it. Then the Y-axis being weird goes away, and it's like, do I have to keep using it? Are there any G-Wolves HTX clones out there? I don't think so, because it's a bad shape. Nobody would want to clone it. Oh shit, Rex is here. Hello, Rex. Thoughts on the GMMK numpad? Is that like a glorious product? I don't fucking know. Probably bad, if I had to guess. I've had the HyperX Pulsar Haste for a few years, and I can get a Death Arrow V3 Pro discounted. How much of a difference is there, and is it worth my money? It's definitely like going to be a fresh, better mouse experience, no doubt. Like better wireless, everything. But it's a way different shape. So if you kind of like have a relaxed grip, like palm grip, and you're fine with a larger mouse, I'd say it's like an amazing decision. But just be wary of that. It's a pretty different shape. What is your favorite mousepad in looks? Non-zebra pads? Probably like, that's a good question. Because I've really never like put a mousepad on my desk for the aesthetic. Probably one of my AI-generated X-ray pads. Esports Tiger Blade. None of the Esport Tiger designs do it for me, but that might be some internal xenophobia. Do you think it's worth getting OP1 8K even though it's not wireless? If you're fine with using a cable, yeah. I'd like just want the OP1 8K. It's crazy that the wireless version of the OP1 8K is gonna weigh like 60 grams. Like it's fucking brick. considering how small that mouse is. Using the XTRFy V2 Mini, recently I came across an issue, which is the scroll wheel. Sometimes it jitters going up. You could swap the encoder or probably just get a replacement. Can you show the G-Wolves HDR 8K PCB? Is this good enough for you? If so, there you go. Not the largest PCB we've ever seen. Recommend mousepad for same control as a worn down GSR1. I mean, you might as well get a Type 99. It's not going to be as slow as a worn GSR out of the box. Like, just nothing will be. And if you're happy with the speed of a worn GSR, probably keep using the worn GSR. What are your top mice right after a Viper V3? I don't know. That's genuinely why I haven't made a top 5 mouse list. Like, what do I actually put the most time on? I just have, like, such recency bias. But it's probably, like, ULX. It's not the GPX, but, like, the GPX is going to be in my top 5. So it's just, like, weird. Went from OP1 8K to Super Light, can for sure say that having the wire does not matter in game. Yeah, it's just person to person. Some people on super low sense seem to complain more about the wire. New mouse gates tier list one? That should be coming soon. Have you looked into the Dharma Shark M5? They said that should be arriving to me within 7 to 10 days. Got the Zalfin Z1 Pro, pretty solid. Yeah, it's like a solid feeling mouse. It's the same as, I bet it comes out of the same factory as this, the Inkai G Hero, but both of them just, like, I don't know, I just don't really love the experience of using them. The Z1 Pro, the shape is just what's weird to me, but everything else about it's just, like, solid. Will you review the XM2 8K? Yeah, but I mean, I'm just not going to get sent it early, most likely. Got an extra 200. Should I get the Wooten keyboard? That's not a bad choice. Would you meow for 50K? 50K, yeah. 50K USD? I would meow for, like, 10 hours straight, probably. It's a good rate, 5K an hour. OP1 8K is so good for Fortnite. Only thing is I can't get 4K polling. Only 2K, but it's still good. I was able to get, like, 8K consistent just with a few, like, basic BIOS tweaks. And since I reset my Windows, I hadn't applied, like, any type of better power plan. And I don't know how many other people didn't do that, but, like, once I put on ultimate performance, I swear that just made 8K, like, way better. But there's probably, like, some PC schizo who's gonna, like, call me a retard. So that's the truth. Are you getting new OLED monitors? I want to try 1440p 480 hertz, but I don't know. What's your mousepad you made? In the past week or so, it's been the SkyPad 4.0, but I would never call myself, like, a glass mousepad main. Probably the Hien Soft. What mic/amp do you use? I use Electro Voice RE20 with a Scarlett 2i2, and I have a Cloud Lifter, but I think my Cloud Lifter died. Like, it's still connected, but it just doesn't work. Does anybody know what that could come down to? But yeah, people complain about, like, my mic peaking, clipping, but it's like, I listen to my audio and I'm like, it's fine. So there it is. Do you run Windows 11? I do. Have you ever heard of Weight is King? For me playing League, I can't get used to V3 Pro and any... What? That is... I mean, you're playing League, so I don't really... I've just never heard somebody complain about mouse weight. I would just argue that that's not real. Maybe get a slower mouse pad. That's a crazy question. I commend that, honestly. Is there any affordable Hall Effect keyboard that is worth getting? Drunktier A75, it's solid. Like, it's better than the Polar 65, the Endgame Gear board, like any others, like, performance-wise, but I just go back to the Wooting. Donk is still popular. You're like 20 minutes late. But I do appreciate that clarification. But it seems like he's fallen out of the public eye. I mean, CS is a tough game. It's hard to stay on top. I switched from 1800 to 600 and half my sense in game. At Valorant it feels nicer, but in Apex it feels weird and somehow faster. Is that normal? Could that be an FOV thing? I would just imagine that's... do you have, like, a low FOV on Apex for some reason? But... I mean, there's a possibility of that being some byproduct of DPI deviation, but I don't know. Is Drunktier better in the Apex Pro? Oh, that's a good one. I haven't tested an Apex Pro recently, honestly. But I would say probably not, but also probably, like, quite close. And then just eclipsed by Wooting. How long will Boardy Fest be? Just a few hours, really. Because Because ideally it's going to start at 12, which means people are going to show up at like 10:45, 11, which I don't encourage, but I understand I can't stop. So there's that, and then it goes for like 3 to 4 hours. I'd say 4 would be stretching it, depending on how much stuff I have, though. Did you change the switches on your Wooting? No, people tell me to, but I just feel like that is a psyop in some way. What happened to your focals? I haven't had them for what feels like coming up on a year now. I kept dropping them. Like, I don't understand. I sound like some type of klutz, which I'm not, but I just fucking dropped them like 40 times, and the headband broke, and then people are always like, hey, I'll buy them from you, and I'm like, hey, do you want to buy them? They're like, oh man, I ran into an unfortunate situation. It's like, nobody fucking wants them. They're just sitting somewhere, so that's what happened to my focals. Will you review the Dharma Shark M5 whenever they send it out to me? Which I believe they have, so I should be getting it soon. Kinzu V1 was boss. That's one I never got around to trying. Fix for Razer mice not detecting. Will buying a new dongle fix it? That's a weird issue, but I've had it like once or twice before with the Viper V2 Pro a while back, and I believe just reinstalling their software was what fixed it for me. Update firmware? Yeah, that could be it too. Do you think polling rate matters much in keyboard? No, scan rate is more important in keyboards, which is funny when a keyboard releases with like 8K polling rate, but then they just have a standard scan rate. But yeah, it's definitely not as important as it is in mice. Marital status. I am single. Filing alone. What mice do you have on the desk today? Viper signature, ULX Tarek, GPX, Viper V3 Pro, HTR, AJ159, new Xtrfy mice, Inca G Hero, and then back there we have the OP18K. You can see it sitting upside down kind of in the corner of the screen, and the Beast X Max. Beast X Max or Viper V3 coming from Sora. I recommend the Viper V3, but if you like the weight of the Sora and want something in that 40 gram weight range, maybe the Beast X Max. Do you prefer U2 or S2 shape? Probably U2. The Zowie U2, my copy is so fucking creaky, but it's like this early pre-production copy. So I just need to get a new one. And they need to release some higher polling, so. I swear, that would be my main mouse. Like, if Razer had Razer specs with the Zowie U2 shape, that I would never use another mouse. Like, the chilling of the Viper V3 Pro would seem like nothing. Which mouse is the nicest to spin? That's a good question. I don't know if there's, like, an objective best answer. Hello, my king. I'm sorry for spamming. I'm happy to have you back, Raphael. Should I get an OP18K coming from an XM2 Wii? I mean, I feel like whatever the new XM2 version coming out is, the XM2 8K, is it? That would be better. But unless you want to try a new shape. But it is just so much thinner. It's kind of weird, the OP one. You fuck with League? No. I tried it once. And it was... I played like some fucking... Tried it once for a girl, and I was playing this like stupid fucking dog character, and I deleted it like in 5 minutes into a game. So that was my experience with League of Legends. OP1 8K for large hands fingertip. I grip it towards the back. It still might feel a bit too thin for your liking, but I don't know. It's a good fingertip mouse. When you have views, it would help with asking for review units. You'd be surprised, because I've seen both ends of the spectrum. I had people like I'm fucking kicked at this point out, but the truth is, reviewers who are much smaller than me are getting way more review units than me. There's some dilemma. Do you recommend Razer Orochi V2? Not really anymore. I do not recommend it. Is there a good mouse skates under $50? Mouse skates under $50. I think that would literally give you the entire market. I can't think of any mouse skates over $50. What game do you main? Kovaak's in Fortnite, unfortunately. SteelSeries Aerox 3 Ghost wireless for $55. Good or bad? Bad. I mean, that mouse is just way, way outdated at this point. Hi, mate. I just joined. How is the M64 from Xtrfy? Does it feel all right? It's not a shape for me, but it's probably like a really interesting ergo for other people. Like, it's not just an M4 clone. Obviously this coating is like a fucking oil magnet, but yeah, it's just like, I don't know, maybe I need to like just full on palm grip it, because the thumb grip does feel good in that situation. But yeah, the mouse has not taken me by storm. The side buttons are very high up. But yeah, it feels good. Like, if you think this is a shape you'll like, I'd say go for it whenever this releases. Does Pulsar V3 have big issues? Like the X-Lite V3? I don't think it has big issues. Did you try a new ATK F1/X1 mouse? No, because they don't want to fucking send it to me. And that's the truth. R1 Pro clicks deteriorate over time or no? I think, like, potentially. Like, nothing, in my experience, it's been nothing major. But whenever I use my R1 Pro, I'm like, this feels a little bit lower quality than it did out of the box, which I guess is to be expected. Is it safe to buy a Sora V2, or does it have big QC issues? It's in a weird place where they just seem like they can't release their higher polling rate dongle. They aren't, like, fulfilling orders. Well, like, I don't know if they're fulfilling new orders. I don't want to make, like, a claim like that. But it's just, that whole mouse has been really fucking weird. And I didn't like it too much, so that is my opinion. Endgame EMB mousepad review. I don't know. Maybe, probably, if they send it. I don't know last time I've actually bought a non-Artisan mousepad, so that's what it comes down to. Does the R1 Pro double click? Mine hasn't, and I haven't seen many reports of it. How many people have charging issues with the AJ139 Pro? It's not this one, so I don't know. Ajaz mice have lots of issues, so that's normal. Pulsar X3 is NDA, right? I don't have an NDA with Pulsar, and I don't know anything about the Pulsar X3, so there's that. Is there a mini Sora V2? I don't think so. PM1 mousepad is good. What is the PM1 mousepad? Oh, it's Sprime PM1. Do you think U2 is as good as the Viper V3, like, shape-wise? I think it's, like, one of the best shapes for claw, like, ever, but I wouldn't say, like, I definitely wouldn't recommend it in the same way I would the Viper V3. Does a mousepad even matter? Definitely. Like, you want a good mousepad. What do you think about the shape of the Zalpin Z2? Watch my review. I just don't like it. It's like, it has the flattest fucking left side ever, and it's just, like, too blocky and just, like, weird. I don't like it. I tried the 4K hertz, and there was literally no difference. My rates are stuck at 2K hertz. That's probably a USB, like, dongle, or, like, or using, like, the right USB hub, etc. Post more gameplay. Hold on, I'm gonna go to my fucking, like, I just haven't recorded gameplay in months, because I'm, like, schizophrenic or something. Where do I put my gameplay? February 2024 raw footage. Like, I'm trying to see the last time I saved something from replay buffer. Look at fucking May 15th. Literally, it's been a month since I've had my replay buffer on, and it's just, like, because I think it gives me input lag or something. I'm just insane. Peterbot trashes everyone on a Benji Fishy mousepad. Yeah, but he's also a cheater, so that's what it comes down to. Let's see some gameplay. I should, I don't know, like, what should I even post? People used to use a sheet of paper as a mousepad, and none of them performed better on that sheet of paper than they would otherwise. When are you going to make your claw grip video? I don't know. I mean, the thing is, like, I can just make all of these videos, but if I don't feel like it's really accurate, it just feels weird to put out. How is he a cheater? What happened? I'm just joking, like, but, I mean, just look at him, he's a cheater. Rocket died after getting acquired by Turtle Peach. Well, Rocket had been, like, on life support for a few years anyway, so it's not like they were putting out anything innovative, so it is what it is. Kovaak's easy to talk to chat like you do now, too. I streamed Kovaak's in the past when I had, like, less viewers, and the idea of, like, playing a run while I can see in the corner of my eyes my chat's moving, I just, like, reset and then answer the chat, and it's, like, just sitting there for a minute in silence. It's just weird to me. But I do understand, like, it would make sense. Are you going to make an artisan buying guide? Like, an updated one? Maybe, once they actually have, like, consistent stock with the new models. Do you arm or wrist aim? I'm a good amount of arm. Like, sometimes when people see my hand cams, they're like, wow, you only use your arm. But I know I use my wrist, so. I feel like anybody, I don't feel like there's anybody who exclusively does one. Maybe, like, some crazy high-sense players. Do you have a celebrity crush? Not really. What makes the U2 shape so good? I just watch my review of it, just look at the shape, see how it compares to others. It just gets really thin at like this middle part of the mouse. Like your thumb and pinky are very close together. It just has a very natural feeling like curvature for the way I claw grip. You play Valorant now. What's CM per 360 is your sense? I've been on like low, like 42 CM on the Skypad for most scenarios. Obviously, it depends what I'm doing. But in Fortnite, what have I been playing? I've been playing 1600 DPI 2.6 or 2.7. So just like mid-sense. I'm fucking boring. I'm just aging, and I'm just becoming a boring old man play style. X2 V2 still a good option? Yeah, I'd say like at $70, it's really not a bad option if you want like a small mouse or fingertip. Xtrfy M8 underrated? No, it was actually so bad. That's why Xtrfy made this new version of it. That's just like a better take on the shape. Didn't you used to duo with Polarized or something? No, I mean, me and Polarized used to talk like occasionally about mice and stuff. I don't think I ever played Fortnite with him. I used to duo with Asian Jeff, if that's what you're thinking about, back in 2019. Like before I was into mice, before Asian Jeff was into streaming, we played like 1 or 2 fucking duo cups, or it was actually trios at the time. But yeah. That is some lore. Did you hear about the Thorn clone Gon's FLX3? No, I actually didn't. Am I insane for clawing the X2V2 Mini? No, I used to, but it's just a bit too small for my hands. It's a shape that works for claw, which is why I find the X2H so interesting, because it's just way more high profile. Damn, that's crazy. Yeah, it's like an interesting link up isn't the right word, but it's just like an interesting collab. Which mouse are you holding right now? The Ajaz AJ159 Pro, which I'm not a huge fan of. I will have a review out on it soon, but I just have been testing it. It does come with this charging dock, as you can see. Are you a pincer claw gripper? I don't think so. But as much as I've watched people like explain that grip style, I just feel like it's a less like relaxed version of what I do. Is that the Vaxi XE? No, that's not on my desk. If you're looking at this one, this is the Incot G Hero, which is very close to a clone of the MPO1S. When is the next batch of ULX coming out? I have no idea, guys. I don't know if it's going to be the ACU one or if it's going to be different. ULX Tarek or V3 Pro. I prefer the V3 Pro, but I prefer V3 Pro to everything, so that's just how it is. But if I am fingertipping, I do like the Tareks. I thought it was the Fnatic Thorn. It was not. I don't have a copy of that, actually. Is an ultra lightweight mouse worth it? Like 40 grams? I've tried mice of every weight range, and that is not something that's like a deal breaker for me, but I think it's worth trying. That's kind of the way I'd say it. If you had to use one mouse for the rest of your life, what would it be? At the current moment, Viper V3 Pro. What's your PC specs? Are you on Intel or AMD? I have a 4080 7950X3D, just nothing. I mean, it's like good, but it's not like the best possible. And I do think if I do, like whenever I completely get a new build, I think I'm going to go back to Intel. But maybe not. What's your monitor? The Asus PG27AQN 1440p 360 Hz with ULMB. I've been using that for a while now. Xtrfy M68 versus GPX2 size. You are not the first person who asked for that. I'll do the Viper V3 Pro as well. And I will try to get you the other angle. But yeah, it's not, like if you see this and it looks like a GPX clone, it's really not. Etc. Would opting for a mouse with optical switches let me avoid double-click issues that appear in mice? Yeah. But then again, most like good, high-quality modern Switch implementations I tried don't double-click. Is 3950 sensor good? Yes. What do you think about the Fantech Helios? The first version I tried was underwhelming. I felt a bit like overhyped for what was just like a okay, like wireless S2-ish mouse. But this new version with improvements could be better, and I should be getting it soon. You've seen the Deathfire V3 hyperspeed leak, right? Yes. Are you still enjoying the Aqua Control Pro Mid Neon? I haven't used it much since I got a Heian Soft XXL, I'm not going to lie. Favorite sport? Like, I enjoy, like, baseball history, but I enjoy, like, current NBA and NFL much more. Probably NFL the most. Like, I am a Knicks fan, but just, like, I'm not a huge fan of, like, the current NBA. But yeah, football, NFL. NFL is truly American. You play ball at Owl's Head? No, I don't live that close. Like, I'm in Sunset Park, so Owl's Head, it's like, it wouldn't really make a ton of sense to go there, except for Boardy Fest. We need a mouse as good as the Viper V3, or even better. It is getting too boring. Yeah, that's kind of where I'm at right now, where I'm not gonna, like, if a mouse is just, in my opinion, mid compared to a Viper V3, it's just not gonna get the seal of approval. Will the Twisted Stash make a return? It might, and last year I was kind of like trying to rush the mustache growth, but this year I think it's very doable. Are you gonna try the X-ray pad Origin Pro? I have it actually. It's just like, I don't know. It's not an interesting surface. X-ray pad does have another interesting surface, the Honeybee. I don't know if I can leak that, but it's very controlled. They're printing a lot of the Boardy Fest pads on that surface. But yeah, the Origin Pro, it just kind of feels like a clone to me. Is this a glass pad he's using? Yeah, it's the SkyPad 4.0. My apologies. Sir Boardsy, have you seen the pink Atlantis Mini on Twitter? I actually haven't, but seems pink. Seems like an Atlantis Mini. Do you like it? Do I like what? Oh, unfortunate. Fastest mouse you've ever had break? It's a good question. Why can't I like think of that? But recently, I don't know if I've ever had a mouse just like be a QC disaster. What's the Origin Pro a clone of? It's like kind of it's like a printed Zero, but a bit more like, not like the Xtrfy GP4, but like with a slight element of just like not roughness. It's hard to describe. Just wait for my video on it. Like when I think of Mousepads, I just have like these abstract like ideas and just words of how they feel, and it's hard to put into words until I'm like sitting down making a review. The AHA159 Apex, I'm using it too. I think it's seal worthy, and my coffee has mid click quality, and it's just too heavy. It's like, why would you get this over a Sora V2? Aside from like better specs, like better availability, but I don't know. It's just, if a mouse is just like a slightly worse version of another mouse, it's hard for me to get excited about that. And that is actually, wow, I just finally put into words why I don't like the G Hero and AJ159. They're just worse versions of other mice. M68 looks like FK clone from the back. Placebo, yeah, it's like, it's just not quite an FK. Is this guy for sale? Am I for sale? Unfortunately not. My pockets would probably be much more lined if they were. You would be. There was actually this one company that wanted me to like make an advertisement like commercial for one of their products, and I was like, no. Truth hurts. The price is a steal compared to a Sora TBH. The pre-travel is the same as my X2 mini unit. Yeah, I mean, the price, no doubt it's not bad. I mean, the stock skates are. Like, why would they ship it with these stock skates? Like, this is the type of decision that makes Ajaz, like, just a unserious company. But they do provide you a pretty cool charging dock, so there is that. And this sensor, it doesn't seem to be, like, it's a firmware update or two away. Logitech, play RJN music. We might get an RJN music, like, goodbye on this stream whenever I decide to end stream. Would buy a Boardsy clone? Just wait, like, 1 year for some better AI training. Then there's going to be Boardsy AI. Just kidding. Why do you think Zowie doesn't stitch the GSRSE series? Honest answer, they are lazy and it saves money. Like, Zowie answer, pro players prefer non-stitched edges, etc. Have you tried the Keychron M6? No. Is that even a real mouse? Which do you think is better, F1 Pro or R1 Pro? In theory, the F1 Pro, but I haven't tried it. Oh no, the F1 Pro does exist. I'm thinking of something else. But yeah, I don't know. I'd say the R1 Pro. LGG LA1 review after FlexFix, like, yeah, when they released their V2 version or whatever. Yeah. Arting's latency tests are fucking terrible, and it's unfortunate because I guess they have better tests of other products that aren't mice, but it just gets so tiring having to explain, like, yeah, if you see it from Arting's, it's probably not that accurate. But then people are like, who are you to say? What testing are you doing? And then it's like, etc. Would you recommend the V3 Pro for Fortnite? Yeah, definitely. Probably my top recommendation. Do you think Optimum Tech Zero Mouse is too impractical for the common consumer? Yeah. I mean, it's a fingertip only mouse. It didn't really click for me, but if he was able to implement some like shape modification to it, then maybe that would be ultimate. But I saw he was using it in like his video, so it does seem to work for him. It's like him and Rocket Jump Ninja, these Australian guys who make shapes that are perfect for them, but just don't click for me. Surprisingly wide market. So you aren't giving the AJ159 a seal? I don't know, I'll have to use it more. See if I actually like, have any concrete, like real issues with it. You think there's still hype for an actual Viper mini shape in 2024 if done well? Like a one-to-one clone, probably. Is that the next Lamlzu mouse? Have I gotten a leak? How's it going though, Frosty? Uncle Boardsy, Atlantis Mini or OP1 8K? It depends. If you're fine with the wire, I'd say OP1. But if you want wireless, a bit lighter, more curved, like smaller shape, Atlantis Mini. Is VaxiXE outdated at the moment? The old one, so it's, I wouldn't say it's outdated. It's just a weird mouse. Like if you want something similar in size to the GPX, but much heavier and with Vaxi quality, like yeah, it's fine, but it's not something I'd really widely recommend. So you hear that Arjan's making mouse shapes again? Yeah, I watched his recent video. And I just don't really know what to think. I mean, RJN, I can't believe he is still holding his grudge against me. It's like, I think I've been saying this for years now, but he can't follow me on Twitter? Like, geez, what did I do to that guy? Do you have the ATK X1? No. They should send it to me, though, because I ordered it. I'm literally just like you guys. I am wondering exactly as much as you guys are. Like, where the fuck is that mouse? Is the R1 SE sensor that bad compared to the other R1 with a normal? To me, it is that bad. Like, I just can't shake the feeling of knowing that I'm using a shitty sensor when I have 1,000 mice with good sensors just behind me. Why is he mad at you? What did you do? I just trolled him. Like, in my early years, I trolled him. Oh, my camera fucking froze. That is unfortunate. One moment. Whatever. Do you have the new Ajaz 8K? No. Does the GPX2 have a better sensor than a 3395? It's hard to compare. Like, implementation-wise, it will feel better than the majority of 3395s, but Logitech's tech is just fucking weird. And gatekept. Do you think we'll be getting magnetically levitating mice in 2025? Probably not, but at some point, maybe. Somebody just needs to figure out to have a sensor, like, track on air. Some of these questions are crazy. BoardsEcon EU when? Probably never. If the rest of EU is as impossible to set up an event in as Germany is, that's just the continent's just fucked. I don't know what to say. It's just like I kind of have it down for where I do it now, and it's just like anywhere else would just be 20 times harder. Just like even just storing the product and moving the product would just be like a big hiccup. Germany is the only difficult place. I find that hard to believe. Do Romania or something? That does seem like it would be possible. But even like shipping all of the stuff, I know it's like a joke, but just think about the import fees shipping all of the stuff into Romania. And it would just cost me so much money. And it's not like I can't pay for it, but it's like, would this just be worth, like, I'm thinking it's fucking at least 25, 30K to throw an event across the world like that. Hi, Boardsy, are Lamlzu mice good? For the most part, yeah. I haven't used a Lamlzu mouse, like, plugged one in a decent amount of time, which I find kind of weird. But they just don't have many new options, I guess, is what it comes down to. Just charge for tickets? I guess if I were to do it, like, overseas, I would have to. But that's the thing, like, in New York, you can just come get it for free. From YouTube stats, how many people are in Romania? Like, sub 1%, definitely, but that's the thing with EU. It's like the countries are really just states. You can just like hop on a train and just like go somewhere. At least to my understanding. I bought your limited mat from Lethal Gaming Gear. Love that shit. Happy to hear. Yeah, those are still in stock. When it was first dropping, I didn't know it was going to have the rubber foam base, but I tried it and it's fine, thankfully. Can you sign my Steam profile? I don't think I've ever done that, but if you have me added on Steam, probably. If you don't, I don't know, I just have so many Steam like friend requests. Do you still use the Model GT Pro occasionally? Literally never. 3/3. Please give me recommendations for mousepads that are on the slower end of control that aren't mud and good build quality. Type 99 Saturn Pro. There's just so many other pads that are close to that. But yeah, it's really good. Hey, Boardy, I'm a beginner. Is the VXC R1 SE good for a beginner mouse? I don't think, like, just get the normal R1. Like, I don't care how many mice you've used. $20 versus $40. In the case where for $40 you get an actually good product, just fucking get the $40 one. So get the R1 Pro, and what does it weigh? Like, sub 50 grams, right? Or like low 50s? I don't even know. What are you drinking? I'm drinking the remainder of the McDonald's iced coffee that I got, like, a long time ago. It's amazing that there's still some ice in here. Saturn Pro is never in stock, though. That's fair. How's Type 99 compared to Zero? Watch my Type 99 review. But it's just slower, more or less. That's the big takeaway. Glorious King Boardy, what are good skates for the Saturn Pro? A lot of you guys asked this, and it's like, I'm not the most skate maxed reviewer out there. Like, I kind of just use whatever. Like, if I have core pads on my mouse, I'm going to be like, core pads are fine for this. Tiger Ice V2s, X-ray pad Jades, like, people are saying Ghost Glide Cyclones are good. I don't even know what those are. But have you tried to use the clay on other mice? No, but I'm committed to actually putting it on my ULX, though. So that will happen. Don't you worry. Changing mouse skates worth it? Yeah. If you have shitty stock skates, they wear out, you're dissatisfied with the experience, yeah, aftermarkets are better. But, like, some people are obsessed with, like, skates, and I get it. It's like another variable to obsess over, but it's just not for me. R1 or R1 Pro? R1 Pro. If you guys watched my R1 Pro review, you would never ask me a question about the R1, because I would just be like, get the R1 Pro. How good are GPX2 stock skates? Pretty mid, in my opinion. PC specs, 4080, 7950 X3D. So, it's like on the high end, but not the best of the best. But 8K does run consistently for me. VStex Max for shaky aim, or is it too late? See, I wouldn't say it's going to, like, not work or it's going to be bad, but just, like, why would you get it over a Viper V3 Pro in that situation? It's just a question you got to ask yourself. If you come up with reasons, maybe get it. Does the Type 99 mid bear resemblance to the Freefall S? Like, just the base itself, it's not as firm of a base, and just feeling-wise, not at all. How do you feel about the new Fortnite season? At first, it captured me because it was, like, so bad that I couldn't stop playing. I'm like, am I really playing Fortnite right now? And then I grinded it, like, with some friends, and then now I'm just, like, kind of bored. I'm just boosting one of my friends to Unreal. Mr. Boardy, what are some good Ambi mice for baby hands? X2 minis, not bad. ULX small. I can only think of expensive mice for some reason. I mean, I guess, like, the HTR counts, like, something like this. Atlantis Mini's another good one. It's like my go-to mouse when I'm making fun of people for having small hands. Is it worth putting core pads on a ULX? Yeah, it's not bad. I think that's what I have on one of my ULXs. I love how you skipped my question. I skip a lot of questions. There are a lot of questions on my screen. Midnight Guns is a fun tactical shooter I started playing. I've got early access to this game, Deadlock. Have you guys heard of this? Like, a Valve game? It is so fucking bad. Like, wait, am I even allowed to talk about it? But yeah, it's no good. My beard grazed yours. What would you do? What kind of question is that? Will you ever hit 1 million subs? Probably not. Maybe, though. Never say never. Maybe. It depends how long I keep this up. I'm doing this for like 10 more years. I'd hope I have 1 million. Only God knows. You can talk about Deadlock, you just can't stream it? Okay. Deadlock is no good. The game fucking sucks. No hate. No hate. But it's just like, I just don't get it. I'm just not even going to say words. I'm just going to say it's bad. You had GPX2 stuttering? No. Did you see Optimum hit 1 mil? Yeah. I mean, that makes sense, though. Optimum is I think he's like the biggest tech reviewer right now. Not like just like on all of YouTube, because they're like some established giants, but like individual, I think so. More of a shape upgrade than sensor. I don't know if that's in reply to. X-ray pad Obsidian red skate's good. On cloth pads, I wouldn't recommend them. On glass, yeah, it's great. Is the best HE keyboard still the Wooting? Yeah. I think Carter PCs has a lot if that counts. I mean, TikTok doesn't count, no. I mean, like, obviously, Carter PCs has a fucking great career, but I just don't view that in the same way I view like, a YouTube. Since you haven't made your claw grip video, what are a top picks for you shape-wise? Probably Viper V3 Pro. And that's like, what else do I use for claw grip? It's just something like so far below on the pole, like a Vaxi mouse. But it's like, I don't really use those that much. And I would say GPX, but again, I don't really use that. Like, since the Viper V3 has released, like, I really just haven't... I'd say I've put like 85% of my time on this mouse, which is not optimal as a mouse reviewer. I mean, he has 1 mil on YouTube too, but doesn't he just like upload shorts? Like, this is... I would say that's like pretty Mickey Mouse. Optimum is an average... Yeah, like, he reviews tech for the masses. And his videos are much, like, higher production quality. Where is Miss Boardy? Non-existent at the moment. Both my X2 and old X-Lite censor, like, flicks when I aim in Fortnite. Probably wireless interference. You think Finalmouse should go back to magnesium? They probably won't. I remember a few years ago, they floated this idea to me of, like, a glass mouse. And I was like... Are you guys really going to pull that off? And it seems like they didn't. Can we get a Viper V3 Pro counter for your next stream? Yeah, probably. Right up there with the R1 Pro and the fucking ATK, like, X1 questions. Those are all... Those counters would probably be in the hundreds. What's your high score on one wall 6 targets? Like, the small version that everyone plays? I'm just still 1,500 flat. But I haven't been grinding Kovaaks too much. When's the last time you used the mouse that you collabed on? The WL mouse was not too long ago, but I probably won't use that one much more since they kind of discontinued it. And the Pulsar one, I don't know, maybe like once or twice since the X2V2 released. Lamlzu Maya, great. My main for Fingertip. Solid mouse. How do you claw the V3? Moving left and right is angled for me. I don't know. I just can't even conceptualize what that's saying. What motivated you to do this live stream of answering questions? Were you bored or something? No, I just haven't streamed in a while. I used to stream, believe it or not, if you guys are newer to the channel, like mostly every week. Sometimes, like back during quarantine when I was playing Crunker, I was streaming like fucking close to daily. But now, as I've aged, you know, family time comes, you just can't stream as much. Are you single? At the moment, yes. But I do need... No, it's actually a good thing for Boardy Fest, because I need to have, like, women as, like, cheerleaders for the line at Boardy Fest. And doing that in a relationship, it gets a little murky. Have you ever not been single? Yes. Multiple times. Boardy is $30. Good for the R1 Pro without a 4K dongle. Yeah, that seems like a very good price. You're dating mice. Yeah, I'm in love with the game. That's what I always tell people. They're like, do you have a girlfriend? I'm like, yeah, I'm in love with the game, the mouse reviewing game. Opinion on dot skates for Xsoft pads? If so, which ones would you recommend? None. They aren't good. On Xsoft pads, that is. Dot skates are fine in general. There was a fly on the screen or something? When you weren't single, were you dating a boy or a girl? I'm not gay. Truth hurts. Do you enjoy doing collabs, or do you ever dream of making your own mouse pad/mouse company? I don't know. It's not. There are some people who like Rocket Jump Ninja, for example. He just wanted to make a shape. Like, he wants to make the best mouse in the world. I don't have those same aspirations, and I also don't want to do something like where I just like consult for a mouse company or something. Like, people have suggested that to me, and it's just like, I don't know. It's not how I would do it. How do you clean your mice? I don't really. Never planned to go pro. Like, when I was much younger, it was... Well, I didn't start playing on PC, like keyboard and mouse, until I was 16. So, or was I 15? One of the two. You know, time flies. But, so yeah, I was probably, like, never going to be a real beast. And with Fortnite, it's just, like, it's just not worth putting the time into to, like, get to some supposed next level. And I'm just chilling now. How old are you now? I'm 21. But I just like joking about being old. feels like I'm fucking old sometimes. Boardy doesn't use a mouse long enough for it to get visible wear or dirt. You didn't watch my Zowie U2 video then, because there were literally conspiracies about me, like, making the mouse stained on purpose to, like, fuck over Zowie. So, I don't know. It depends on the mouse. Like, my Viper V3 Pro, if you look at it, like, under a light, you'd see, like, lots of stains, but it's a white coating, so who cares? When are you next selling some mice? I don't know. I need to. My room is just like, can you guys see how fucking crazy this tower is? I don't think you can from this angle. But I just, like, I don't know. I need to, maybe next week. How many mice do you have in your room? At least 150. That's, like, at the very least. Do you use the Zowie U2 anymore? I would love to. I just need to get a new copy. Like, my current one, it creaks too much. Yeah, it just kind of went to shit. But it was an early copy. But I do love the shape. But if Zowie also had 4K, that would help. Rate your high school experience. It was bizarre. I went to this high school where there were, like, 3 schools. 2 of them were, like, very ghetto, for lack of a better term. And then I was in, like, the somewhat more affluent school in the building. But, like, I don't know. I just had some odd experiences. But made me who I am today. Wait, you're 21. That is correct. But my college experience was more bizarre. Just like online school, then like an hour and a half commute to get there, and then being like, fuck this. Tell me Finalmouse and I'll give you a kiss. I'll have to pass on that. But I do have a ton of Finalmouse. Zowie releases 4K. Will I need another U2 or will they do firmware thing? They'll just do some firmware update, if they do. But I don't know if they will. It's like, I wouldn't hold my breath. Which school did you go to? I went to Hunter College. Unless you mean high school, which, I mean, I could say. I just don't really care. Is higher res worth it for long range fights? I don't know. I think it's just all the same. You know, 1440, 1080p, it's all the same. And a lot of people are like, oh, I'm not going to get a 27-inch monitor. It's going to make me terrible. And I'm just, not really. But a lot of people still stick to 24.5, so seems like that is that for a reason. How tall are you? I'm like 6'1". Some people tell me I'm like taller, but I think they're just lying about their height. This guy's like way shorter than me. And he's like, I'm 5'11". I'm like, you're not 5'11". I feel like you've been 21 since I started following your channel. No, I was probably like 18 back then, back in 2021. That's crazy. You've been OG. Appreciate you, Creed. Oh, cool. I was close to going to Hunter, but I went to Brooklyn instead. Yeah, Brooklyn College, Baruch, and Hunter were, like, my 3 options. I went to Hunter because it's my name, believe it or not. So I got offered $35 for my Pulsar X2 Mini first batch. You think I could sell it for more? No. I mean, that just the standard, not even the V2. You should fucking... That guy's a schmuck for paying that much. What is your favorite Fortnite skin all time? Balenciaga, dog? Recently, I've been wearing the Nike, like it's just like a blurb. I don't even know what it is. That skin has been great. So there's that. And then there's the Colonel Poppy. It's not a bad skin. I just like the weird troll skins. I always have. People have said I've had bad skin taste, but I just have very refined taste. Goddamn, Boardsy, answer the question. Are you dropping a G Hero review? Yes, in the coming days. 2 a.m. I'm not sleeping until you say goodnight to me. Good night, Raphael. I appreciate you coming back, learning from your time out, and being a great man. But yeah, have a good rest of your night wherever you are. So your name is Hunter Boardsy. Yes, that is the legal name. Shocking name reveal. Any recommendations for a fingertip mouse other than the Keychron M4 at a similar price? None other exist at a similar price, so that is that. But the HDR is probably like the first fingertip mouse I've liked in a while. Same here, I'm in Perth. Yo, wow, shout out to Australia. I want to get down there one day. What refresh rate is your monitor? 360. I've been on 360 for like 3 years now. Is that possible, or has it been 2 years? Maybe 3. R1 Pro best mouse in that range? Price range? Yeah, probably. Will you be... I thought that said singing stuff, signing stuff. Yeah, I'll sign stuff at Boardsy Fest. Happened the past 2 years. I feel like I'm an athlete or something. But yeah, guys, come to Boardy Fest. I can't believe I haven't already promoted it. Here we are, an hour and 40 minutes into the stream. July 13th, just under a month away, guys. Just under a month away from Boardy Fest. Be there, or be square. Owl's Head Park, Brooklyn, 12 p.m. roughly. Free peripherals for all. Can you do ASMR content? I've never understood, like, what the point... Like, I've heard that, like, people get tingles from it, whatever, but I don't. So I'm just watching it. I'm like, this sounds fucking bizarre. Like, and there are people, like, addicted to this. So it's always just been, like, one of those odd things to me. Where is Boardy Fest? It is in Owl's Head Park, Brooklyn. Same location as the last 2 years. I'm in Arizona. Is it worth flying to NYC for Boardy Fest? The advice I always give people, like, for the event alone, probably not. But if you want to, like, spend the weekend in New York City, get free peripherals, like, attend Boardy Fest, like, there's tons of other shit to do. So if you want to make, like, a quick weekend trip out of it, I would say, yeah, it's worth it. But, like, just for the event alone, probably not. Gamescom 24, Boardy stand confirmed. I don't even know Gamescom. Where is that? If I would ever get a stand somewhere, it'd be at CES, and it would just be, like, as a joke. Just have, like, the shittiest stand ever. But I feel like that's impossible. It would cost, like, many thousands of dollars that I don't want to spend on a joke. Glass mouse gates or core pads? Core pads, definitely. Controller Air for Viper V3 Pro? I don't know. The Airs, like, they were kind of gimmicky to me. But the controls, like, I understand their purpose on control pads, so I would just say get the standard version. Gamescom is in Germany. Maybe. Well, maybe I could, like, fucking fluke my way into Germany for an event. Is NYC safe? I've never felt threatened, but then again, as, like, a 6 foot tall plus, like, able-bodied person, you're not going to be the first target of really any crimes. Aside from, like, maybe, like, an overconfident crackhead on the train. But it's, like, that's really it. Any Play-Doh sold at Boardy Fest? Yes, there's going to be Boardy dough. Do you guys think I would be allowed to do that? I was thinking, like, Boardy and then DOH. Like, is that does Play-Doh have, like, a hold on that? Best budget mouse? VXE R1 Pro. What is that framed article behind you? It is from this newspaper called Harper's Weekly from the 1800s, and that's a baseball player named Buck Ewing. It's just like a rare item, and it's so much cheaper than, like, other 19th century baseball memorabilia. I just thought, like, fucking gotta pick it up. Like, you can get an old Judge card, which is, like, this big, for, like, $5,000, or you can get that entire newspaper cover for, like, $100. So, truth hurts. To the one person who cares about that. What is Boardy Fest? It is an event that I hold every year, where I just give away products. Like, people always they're like, how do you make money? Like, what's the point of this? It's just giving back, pretty much. Like, people come, there's a line, and then you spin a wheel. And then the wheel, whatever you get is what you get, and then from there, you go and play carnival games to win more prizes. It's just kind of like a relaxed, like, not content focused, just kind of like an old fashioned, just like carnival style of it. It is very, like, low key. Like, don't have any, like, ideas of this being some unreal event. But yeah, that's that. Hi-Fi ASMR. Is the Cobra or the Viper better? The Cobra, like, you don't really care about weight, so it's just like the Viper mini shape, but a bit more modern. I don't remember if you tried that. But the Viper V3 Pro is incredible, but it's also, like, pretty expensive. Viper V3 Hyperspeed's good. It has batteries, though. But yeah, see description. You can hit me up if you want some personalized mouse guidance. Sounds cool. Wish I wasn't a million kilometers away. Yeah, it is unfortunate for the people outside of the New York City area, but I don't know. There's a will, there's a way. Will the Booga Mouse be in the giveaway? I don't know. It's a good question. I should reach out to Five Below. Can you put the Beast X Max and the Beast X side by side? If I had both of them on my desk, I would. But I would just recommend watching my Beast X Max review, because I definitely did that. Do you still recommend the Finalmouse ULX? Mostly in the small, like, the small size is the best for me, but yeah, I recommend it. But it's not like, I wouldn't recommend waiting for it over getting a WO mouse necessarily. Boardy Seal of Approval sticker giveaway? Yes, because I still have some left over from Japan, funny enough. Can I attend Boardy Fest under 18? Of course, yeah, it's a public event. Like, there were some fucking, like, there literally was a 3-year-old at last year's, like, some kid's brother, and he just brought him along so he could get an extra wheel spin. And it's like, I support that. But yeah, there's no alcohol. There's literally, you're not allowed to buy anything according to the city permits. So it's just it's at a public park. So you just kind of come, and that's Boardy Fest. I thought Thoughts on Meow gaming gear? I haven't tried any of their pads, but they do seem like a pretty solid, like they seem solid quality wise, but I just wouldn't recommend it over Artisan. Did you order / get sent the new ATK mice? I ordered them, but they aren't being sent out by ATK, and my order is just stuck in confirmation, so that is what it is. Most expensive thing at Boardy Fest, individual item wise. Last year, I think there were a few Finalmouse Starlight 12s, like the Pegasus. But I'm trying to think. Like, there might be some somewhat expensive keyboards, but I don't think there's anything over 500. And there are going to be, hopefully, some Zebra Zeros from Artisan. It's hard to put a price on that because those are Boardy Fest exclusives at the moment. Are you capable of turning off motion sync in the HDR? Yes, I do. You got to like go to the drop-down menu, but it saves for me when I turn it off, so I don't know what issue you're having. Are you on mouse.xyz or mouse.wiki? Poland Spring sponsor soon. It has been proven to me over the years that I cannot drink enough Poland Spring water to fucking get their attention. You guys would not believe how much I drink, and it's just, that's not enough. Peace out, Flavor. Thank you for stopping by. What's your opinion on the QC issues with the Finalmouse ULX? The first batch was like really bad. Like with the flex that some people got. What is this spam? I'm answering this guy's question. Now he's just spamming. No more answering. Is motion sync essentially mouse excel? Not at all. Completely different. What is your favorite food? That's a good question. I don't know. I mean, like, steak is just such like a general answer, but like, it is hard to beat a well-executed prime rib. That's what I would say. Is that the Death Adder V3? No. This is the Viper V3. The only Ergo mouse on my desk is this fucking weird one from Xtrfy, which I will have some content out on soonish. Completely missed what you said about Boardy Fest, but it's free, right? Just show up. Yes, correct. It is, the New York City does not allow me to charge for anything. Even if I wanted to, like, sell some shirts, they'd be like, nope, you gotta give them away. I'm sure, like, some unscrupulous people would, like, find a way to, like, do some raffle or something, but it's beyond me. What is that red mouse? This is the G-Wolves HTR. I posted initial impressions a few days ago. Recommend watching that. It comes with this clay, which is kind of like Infinity skins from Finalmouse, and it fucking feels good for Fingertip. But yeah, I'll have a full review out soon as well. You see that new G305 clone? I did. I forget what company. Is that the M-Chose one? Are you from Cortland? No. I applied to the school Cortland, though, upstate. Corepad soft grips or Pulsar super grips? It just depends. Like, Pulsar super grips are going to have, like, a stickier sensation, but Corepad's grips are, like, just more standard rubber grips. Is it weird to have multiple of the same mouse but in different colors? Somewhat, but I respect it. Why do you use a cloth mousepad on top of a glass mousepad? Like, recently in my videos, it's just been because I don't want to, like, fucking put my glass mousepad to the side. You're a good tiny dude. Is the Viper Mini Sig worth it even now? I never thought it was worth it. That was one mouse. It's really hard to get me to be like, this mouse, it is just not worth, like, the exorbitant price. But $300 for a mouse that's just not better than cheaper ones? I never understood it. And like I said, I'm better at understanding egregious mouse prices than most. Have you seen any glass kits for Viper V3 Pro? Nah, I just don't recommend that. I use Artisan Raiden with my Viper V3 Pro. That's one of my combos that I've been using recently, the Raiden X Soft. It's the M-Chose G3. Yeah, that's what I thought. Best mouse to get if I have $80. VXE R1 Pro is an option. Pulsar mice at $70 currently are an option. Death Adder V3 wired, maybe. I don't know. There's just not a ton of great wireless mice under 80. QCK with the Death Adder V3 Pro, I'd recommend getting a better mousepad. Like, you're willing to spend some money on your setup and you're still just using the Bunga tier mousepad. Why do you prefer Viper V3 over Zowie U2? What specifically? No, you're misunderstanding it. I like the U2 shape, but everything else just... Like, I prefer the U2 shape over Viper V3, but just everything else leads me to use the Viper V3. And it's not like I prefer it that much. It's just like with the U2, I'm like, wow, this is like a genius shape. Like, Zowie is back in their prime, but the rest of the mouse, it leaves a bit to be desired. Thoughts on the claim by the whale that the Type 99 is a Riz clone? It just seems like he wants to market the Riz. Like, has he ever... Can somebody give me an answer? Has he sold the Riz without the Doodle coating? Because I have the Nacho Customs, like, Doodle Riz, and it is not a fucking clone of the Type 99. Like, if the uncode, like, the one without the design is, like, maybe, but it's still, like, Artisan's been developing that for years. It's not like they saw the fucking whale's pad and decided to make the Type 99. That is just, what would it be, like, delusions of grandeur? I don't know. You have the Riz, both the Riz. So there is a Riz without a coating on it. I've just never tried it. Boardy, what's up, man? What is the battery life on Lamlzu mice? They just seem in line with other 3395s, like maybe a bit over a week on like a week and a half or so on 1K. Scales down with other polling rates. Any problems with your R1 Pro after a week? No, I didn't. He helped get Shroud off the perks. No, he just needs to stick to his Logitech mouse combo. But I think an hour and 50 into this stream, I am going to call it. You know, got people to see, got places to be. It has been a lovely stream, though. You know, I gotta do this more often. So that's gonna be all for today. Make sure to respect your elders. Have a great rest of your Saturday. And yeah, that's gonna be all. Peace out.